Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ferdbird the Nerd with another comic book market report for you guys. I didn't do one last week. I just had a lot of family stuff to take care of, but I do appreciate everyone's support and watching all of the different markets I've been doing. I'll still be doing video games. I'll do magazines a little more than usual. But if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tell all of your friends about it. The overall market economy is in an odd position right now, I'd say. And I don't know if it's really hitting collectibles yet, but I definitely think there's a little bit of a pullback, some opportunities ahead, and some long-term investors could scoop up some good stuff that could be pretty good for the next 5 to 10 years. So let's take a look at it. Again, I think I have about 9 or 10 books this week. I'm not sure how many I have, but I worked on these last week. So it's a little old on the prices here, but we'll work with it and see what we got. And let's get into the list. All right. So first off, I went and saw Captain America 4 last couple weekends ago. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was like the greatest movie of all time, but Joaquin Torres is, I guess, a Gen Z. I don't even know what generation we're in anymore, but he did show up in the show as the new Falcon. I thought it was pretty cool. It wasn't really like breathtaking or whatever, but if you are collecting Torres and for the future of the MCU, possible new Avengers, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of possibilities out there. I'd say get this one. There's a second print out there as well. It's a little bit more rare. $69.99 for a 9.8 a couple weeks ago. So the movie didn't really do anything. Like I always say, like if you're gonna sell when the trailer comes out. But him being kind of a B-lister, type character, I can't really recommend him too much. But if you are collecting, here you go. V for Vendetta. I went into kind of a weird rabbit hole this past week, but yeah. So I don't know. I think this is like one of those books as far as like readership. It's like a top 5, top 10 of all time. But as far as collectors are concerned, I don't think it really hits it that much. With kind of all of the political stuff going on, this book could peak or start to creep up a little more. 121 for a 9.8 for a book that's almost 40 years old. I don't think that's too crazy, but I think this book was printed pretty highly. I'm not sure exactly, but I think the cover's really cool. It'd be a nice piece to have in your living room, hobby room, whatever. But 121 for 9.8 for a classic comic book. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. Now, I'm not recommending to buy this. This book is not for me at all. When I heard about the Bad Bunny vibes on this book, I was like, I don't believe it. And this book came out of the gate. This is post-pandemic too, guys. You can't even blame the pandemic on this. But yeah, the Bad Bunny vibes really kind of hit this. $100 for a 9.8. This is $50 coming out the gate. I think it's worth maybe 40, 45. It's a cool concept character, but we haven't heard anything since. And if you're buying this at $100 or even at 50, you're investing on hope. There's nothing really going for this. No one ever talked about this character, but yeah, I don't really like it. Absolute Batman number 1, another newer comic book where I just can't justify slabbing this book. I read the first couple and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good series. I can get why people like it, but past that, I'm not really into this Absolute Batman. But $109.99 for a 9.8 with the cost of slabs, the time it takes to get back. Again, this is like, you got to be more careful with what you slab people and what you buy that slabbed. I just can't. There's just so many better books for $109.99 that are lower print, that command more kind of a longer term look. And Absolute Batman to me just isn't it. It's a great series. I'd say it's a good series, but I don't know. There's just no contextuality with this book. Invincible 51, the blue suit. This particular cover I think is pretty cool. It to me, it has kind of these weird Superman-esque vibes. I even go a little bit deeper and go with Apollo vibes as well. $200 plus on the bay for a 9.8. I mean, this is a nice book to invest in. It's a beautiful cover, lower print Invincible, right? And 9.8 for $200 for Invincible, with just kind of the momentum. The Amazon series is really good. I need to catch up on the 3rd season myself, but this is great for Gen Zers for sure. Moon Knight number 1. Now, I feel like this is one of those forgotten, overprinted, comics. This was, pandemic. This was one of those crazy ones. I feel like I need to rewatch the Moon Knight series and see how it really holds up. But I'd be curious to see if this is like a longer term $100 9.8 that people just want to have. That's for the direct edition, by the way. I remember these going for $100 raw. It's not even his first appearance as well, but like if you can't afford his first appearance and really want it, I'm not mad at $100 for a 9.8 direct edition of this book. It's just not for me. But I don't know. We'll see what Moon Knight does in the future. I think Marvel has a really big opportunity to really get into the Halloween mystical part of the universe, and they really haven't done anything with it. So with that said, who knows if they get a good writer like from a horror movie franchise and really dig into that Halloween kind of Bloodstone, those kind of people, I think it'd be kind of cool. This is kind of my, oh damn, I never heard about this book or cover before. G.I. Joe Frontline #1. In particular, this isn't the one, but the Dynamic Forces Gold variant. Now, if you are a Gen Xer like me, I'm more millennial early. You remember Dynamic Forces was the the before variants were store exclusive, like they were the ones to go for. I remember sending a check in the mail for one of these variants, and so excited when it came 2 months later. But anyway, I always look for these Dynamic Force variants, and on eBay, or just ones I've never heard of. And I thought with all the GI Joe stuff, that's my favorite comic book right now. I thought this was really cool. $150 to $200 in a 9.8. It's very niche, so don't buy this because you're like, oh, this is gonna double to 200. This was on Ferd's market report. This is just something interesting that I found that I wouldn't mind paying like $1.25, $150 just to display. But it just hits a lot of nostalgic for me. It's GI Joe, hits Image, hits Dynamic Forces, and it's gold. So this one isn't gold, but there's a gold version out there. Wolverine #1 from the ongoing series. I think this cover, I like this one better than the miniseries cover personally. A 9.8 sold for $1,000 for a newsie, which I thought was really strong. So you got to imagine there's a Canadian newsstand out there. I'm not sure if there is. Just can't remember that top of my head. It's probably going to go for a lot more. The direct in 9.8 is a lot cheaper. So if you're not wanting to pay $1,000 for a 9.8 newsie, which I totally understand, to $200 isn't bad for a regular 9.8. And think about this. Would you rather have this book, or would you rather have Wolverine's first appearance in 9.8? Because they're pretty much the same price. I'd rather go for this one personally. So, Batman 609. I had to throw some DC stuff in this. I don't know. Is Batman DC going to make a comeback soon? I think, if they follow the good writing and watchability of the Penguin series, I think it can make a run for your money. And there are some modern keys that you can look into. 175 for this in 9.8 isn't too bad. Is this 609? This is 610. I think it's 609. Sorry. I know there's arguments that 608 is a better cover, but I personally like this one better just from look's sake. But 175 for 9 is a little expensive if you're trying to, spec on this. But we'll see. DC's got some work to do. And I talked about Kanto last time, so that must be the end of the list. Anyway, so kind of a quick list for you guys this week. Again, thanks again, everyone, for your support. Tune in every Sunday night for Mercenaut. He's got his show going on Sunday nights. And also tune in to Black Crown. He's got good stuff on Sunday nights as well. I missed his show yesterday, so I'll catch on the rewind this week, or today, I would say. And then we got Wednesday's show for Brian McClay and Saturday, and some other good stuff out there. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next time, and take care, and don't spend too much money out there. See ya.